What's good, y'all, man? It's the homie Commotion. I appreciate you for tuning in to Cody Black once again. It's the one and only, man. Hey, today I have co-hosting with me, XAVIER.
Plus patience to some more of my sacrifice. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication. Look.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you for coming through, dog.
Hey, man, no problem. You know, anytime you go out on vacation, you need someone to step in. That's what I'm here for, man.
I got you.
Yeah.
They say you good, you do good feeling, so I feel you.
I try, man. I try.
But yeah, man, today, bro, I want to talk about the disconnection between generations.
Mm-hmm.
And that being the baby boomers, which were born from 1946 to 1964. We got Generation X from 1965 to 1980.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the beautiful millennials.
Right.
You know, that's us.
Right.
From 1981 to 1996. And then we have the completely different post-millennials, which were 21 years and younger.
Right.
So what I want to talk about is the disconnection between us, the millennials, and Generation X and baby boomers.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you have heard the past generations say about our generation?
Man, you know, it's kind of crazy. I have these conversations a lot, you know, with my dad, uncle, everything. But, you know, it seems like the basis of what they say is that our generation, we're just very lazy. Or we feel entitled to a lot of the... Yeah, we just feel entitled to a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's not that we're lazy. I just feel like we're motivated from different things now. You know, back then they were motivated on going to college and securing a 9-to-5, whereas of now we're motivated based off of creativity. So they look at us like, oh, you just want to go out here and do music, or oh, you want to go out here and be a photographer or something, and that's just taking the easy way out. And realistically, it's not. You know, we're the ones taking a sacrifice. We're the ones making the sacrifice because, you know, these industries are the hardest industries to get into. You know, not everyone makes it in music, not everyone makes it as a model, not everyone makes it as a photographer. So, but that's primarily it. Just we're lazy and we just feel entitled.
Right, bro. So I feel like some of the things that the past generation say about us is our music is out of control. We portray a drug-taking, drug-dealing lifestyle. They often say we don't stay on topic.
Right.
We're just spitting a bunch of rhymes. And one of the main things they say, we all know that they say it's too vulgar. You know, that's some of the things that they say. What are some of the things that you feel like they say about our music specifically?
Man, you know, that music topic is as a whole, is just a tricky topic. But, you know, one of the things that I feel like I've heard is that our music just lost soul and substance. You know what I'm saying? We went to just making party music and music that doesn't bring people together. You know what I mean? Like, look what happened to R&B. It's no longer any R&B.
Yeah.
And R&B was known to pull people together, whether it's friendship, relationships, or whatever. But now
That's
we
deep.
just...
That's
yeah,
deep.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's just my take on it.
Okay. One thing I know, a couple of things I know that they say about us is it's too vulgar. That's number one.
Truth.
They say we don't stay on topic.
That's it.
They say we portray a drug-taking or drug-dealing lifestyle,
That's facts.
which I feel is completely false, but we're gonna get to that. And they say it's pretty much out of control, like anything goes in our music. But I feel like, you know, a lot of times we're just replicating society. Anything goes in society. What are some of the things our past generations say about us when it comes to standards?
To be honest, I feel like in our generation, we lost standardization. I mean, we no longer have rules. We no longer have regulations. That box no longer exists. I mean, I grew up in a household where, you know, you couldn't whistle in front of an elderly person, but now you got kids that do that all the time. I mean, my little brothers are throwing house parties without my dad being there. You know what I mean, these are things that I couldn't do as a child. So
Exactly.
As a society, that box that we had is just completely out of the window. It went more to losing love for each other and just by any means type of mentality. And so that's kind of where we at now.
Pretty much sums it up as well. I'll give my take on it too, man. I just think they say we're unprofessional. They always say we have no respect for elders.
Okay.
They say we have no respect for each other. And a lot of times they say we have no vision or goals.
Right.
And that is a common misconception, you know. So I want to go into source of income, which is always a hot topic. I feel like out of all three of these things, they criticize us the most with this. So by source of income, I mean, I'll start this one off. They often say we should go through college, get a 4-year degree or a master's, work at a job, get a 401k, depending on the pension. And a lot of times I feel like us as the youth, that limits us, man. And you know, that's not the only thing that we have to do. There's plenty of ways to make money. Right. What are some of the things that you think they say about us when it comes to how we earn our income and what we strive for, basically?
So I definitely agree with you on a lot of the things that you just spoke about, but kind of where I want to go with it is just the different variations of it. I mean, you kind of look at back then where that was all that they had, right? That was basically all that they can do. And just look at the economy at that time. You know, back then things were a lot cheaper. Inflation wasn't as high or things of that nature. So you could have gotten a regular job and do those things. But now, I mean, you're talking about a 1-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, that's like $1,000. And you still got jobs that's paying you $11 an hour. So we can no longer focus on just those things, but we have to get a side hustle. But for a lot of us, our side hustle is our plan A. You know what I mean? And I went to school for business, dropped out senior year. My plan A is music. That's where I feel like is the best shot for me, because working for someone, I'm going to hit a cap. You basically want me to work for you for 25 plus years and not work on myself for 25 plus years. And I just can't rock with that.
Right, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
I'd rather invest in myself as well.
Yeah, man, I feel like this whole entire time, you know, we just been bashing baby boomers and Generation X.
Yeah.
But I guess the question that we should be asking ourselves is, how do we feel about this?
So for me, a lot of times I feel like when it comes to music, I think their music is a little too slow and it's not realistic sometimes.
Facts.
You know,
Big facts.
a lot of the things that we talk about in music now, they talked about it. They just put it in a different way and made it a little bit more smooth. You know, that's just like mushing up a baby's food so that they can eat it,
Right.
and swallow it correctly. You know.
I definitely agree with you on that. It was crazy because I was having a listening session at the house with a friend of mine, and for some reason we started listening to like some old Ice Cube, right? And at the end of the song, he was like, "Yo, that was way too many words in the verse," which is true. Like, it was way too many words. You know what I mean? And so I definitely agree with you on that. That they took too long to get to the climax, where we are more direct. But yeah, you know, that just sums it up on the music though. But kind of what I want to talk about is basically the standard. The same question that you asked me is, you know, based on the two generations, how can you define the previous generation standards?
Sometimes I feel like they were too uptight back then. And they always talk about, well, you know, I just had the utmost respect for this person and this person. But I'm like, sometimes that created a barrier.
Right.
That form of respect, you were never able to truly understand your parent or truly understand your older brother or sister. So while respect is cool, I feel like sometimes they had too much respect for people that weren't deserving of it.
Right.
One other thing I would say that we say about their standards, they don't respect our standards. You know, well, they don't respect us, and they think that anything we are doing is just too flexible, too out there.
Right.
And that's what we feel about them. They're too constructive, and we're more free flowing.
Right. Yeah. I definitely agree, man. And but what do you feel about source of income? You know.
What do you mean by that?
Just defining previous generation's source of income. Kind of like when you asked me the question, but
Yeah.
in reverse, you know.
Okay. How I feel about their source of income is they depend solely on working at Fortune 500 companies, basically, and that's corporate America. And they often depend on 401k and say, hey man, put all your money into stocks and just depend on that. It doesn't matter which way the company goes, it'll get back on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's most of the time that's not the case, especially in America, in young America as well.
Right.
We can't just depend on that. Like I said, that's them being too closed-minded.
Right.
And they're not looking at various ways of making money. But one of the last things I want to say about how we feel about them when it comes to source of income is they don't reach back and help the youth. A lot of times they say, I got it out the mud, and so should you. But now, my favorite part of Coded Black is always the solutions. I'll ask you first, man. What do you feel like some solutions to this problem? Man?
Yeah, that's a tough one, but I feel like one of the solutions is just taking away judgment. I feel like when you start judging one side, that's kind of where the problem is. And instead of trying to judge one side, let's just try to get an understanding. You know what I mean? Kind of understand why they had that mindset, and for them, they need to understand why we now have a different mindset. And for me, that's like the mecca of all plans, I feel. Yeah.
It makes sense, man. For me, I would like to say, if we could have a forum, all different age groups there, and we just really talk about some things and hash it out.
Right.
Both parties get some things off their mind.
Right.
I will say this, man. One of the greatest accomplishments in our community, being the black community, melanated people, would be unity.
Right. Facts.
Now, we all know with unity comes understandings. With understandings comes conversation.
Big facts.
With conversation comes connection.
Superior facts.
And once connected, I feel like we can achieve anything. Which is why Coded Black is presently in the planning process of having one of these forums and actually being the change that we seek.
Yeah, so this just about wraps it up. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in episode 6 of Coded Black. I am your co-host, XV. This amazing guy.
I'm your boy KOMMOTION, man. You already know.
And you can follow me at XV_sound. You can definitely check out a lot of my music. I got links up all day. So yeah.
And you already know, man. Y'all can follow us on Instagram at Coded_Black. That's COD3D_BLACK. You know the goal is to educate, inspire, enlighten. And always remember, winners make adjustments. Peace, fam. KOMMOTION checking out.
Peace, fam.
Love yours. Love yours. No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived.